In this writing session, I'm going to focus on paragraphs. Now, I've chosen to use kind of the fiction style of paragraph indentation, which is indenting half an inch and not having a blank line between paragraphs. Use one or the other, and I'm using the fiction style. I always think of it as a fiction style because when I'm writing nonfiction, I have everything left justified and I use a blank line to separate paragraphs. But here I'm going to use the indentation. So typically what you start thinking about is, in fact, this even starts in outlining. If I'm outlining, what I'll do is I'll go, okay, I need a paragraph on, let me see, what should we write about? Let's write about a book that I'm working on right now, which is container gardening for flowers. So I go, okay, so I need topic sentences, something like container gardening is not only fun, but it exhibits many benefits over traditional gardening. So I'll write a sentence like that, and I'll go, okay, that's the topic sentence. And then I'll go, okay, what's the next sentence? Or the next paragraph would be something supporting of that. Many people prefer container gardening to traditional in the ground gardening. So after I get, it's not only fun, but it wants a comma here, and I disagree with that, so that's why it's flagging that. So then I'll go, okay, well, with these topic sentences, let's put in the supporting information. So that's usually what you do. With a paragraph, you have it's most common to have your topic sentence be the first sentence, although we ought to write one here where the topic sentence is the second sentence. And then you put in supporting information. You write about what that topic sentence is. So it's not only fun, but first, a little intro there, so I set it off with a comma. Container gardening requires less room, time to or let's call it maintenance time, and expense. But the primary reason that people turn to container gardening is that it requires, we said requires twice, that it takes up less space and can be done virtually anywhere. Period. So there we've got a paragraph. Now, I usually don't like one-sentence paragraphs unless you're getting into dialogue and you're just putting in little asides and so on. So I like to get, at least 3 good sentences for a paragraph. So here we've met the basic requirement. Now we can move to the next thought. So you can see this was about container gardening is not only fun, but it exhibits benefits. Many people prefer gardening to traditional. More and more, we're seeing container gardens sprouting in every community. Container gardening is preferred particularly by the elderly, who can more easily reach the pots and baskets involved. So see, we're putting more and more evidence behind many people prefer container gardening. Now, why else would you use paragraph breaks? Well, here's one. Let's cut off to something new. John stood watching the basketball game, wishing that he too could be involved. New paragraph, because we're about to have dialogue. So this is what I'm talking about. Where dialogue happens, you sometimes get into one-sentence paragraphs. Hey, it's a little lead-in. Would you like to play one of the let's make this a member of one of the teams asked. And then, since we're going to have Tom or John reply, then we want that on a new paragraph. So use new paragraphs for different speakers. Sure. Said, putting down his ball and jogging onto the court. And then here we would start a new paragraph talking about a narrative about what's going on. Let's see. The game turned out to be much more demanding than John had expected. One or two, okay. After 2 trips up and down the court, he was already winded. So see how this is providing supporting information for our topic sentence, which the game turned out to be much more demanding than John had expected. You know, after 2 trips up and down the court, he was already winded. John wasn't sure if he was going to be able to last the entire game. Now, new thought. The moment the game ended, John slunk to the sidelines and dropped to the ground in exhaustion. Wiping the sweat from his forehead, he gasped for breath. So notice how the paragraphs are working here. We end up with a topic sentence, and then we support that topic sentence with supporting things. So each paragraph is going to be about a different group or a different idea that's being discussed. And then you're going to use complete sentences to discuss that idea. Now, usually the first sentence, let's try coming up with a second sentence topic sentence. Let's see. Something like, our environment is an important important resource. Recently, that important resource has become increasingly in danger. Now, here you could say that this isn't a paragraph about the environment as an important resource. I have resources. This is a subject-verb agreement where the environment is a resource, okay, not a resources. So I missed subject-verb agreement there. Recently, that important resources again. There we go. An important resource. What does it want for important resource? Valuable resource. Oh, okay, I'll go with that. A valuable resource. I'll go with that. I like that. Valuable more than important. So in this case, the second sentence is really the topic of the paragraph, that important resource has become increasingly in danger with chemical fertilizers and pesticides becoming more prevalent, comma, the environment is let's say today's environment is under constant attack. So here what we're doing is we're supporting not the first sentence, that the environment is a valuable resource, but the second sentence, which is the true topic sentence. So that's an idea of how to have the second sentence be your topic sentence. Now another type of sentence here, or lead-in for a paragraph, is a two-pronged topic sentence. This is used quite often in essays where you want to compare two options. So you'd say something like, there are pluses, pros, there are significant pros and cons involved in container gardening. I don't know. The pros include reduced cost and maintenance, while the cons include reduced acreage, right? So here you can contrast and you can go back and forth and have a two-pronged topic sentence where you talk about two kind of competing ideas in the same paragraph. So that's the idea of paragraphs. You start them typically with a topic sentence, and it can either be the first line sentence, which is very common. So here's the first sentence is a topic sentence in these examples up here. You use them to break up dialogue. So every time somebody new speaks or you go out of dialogue, you break into a new paragraph. And then you can have the second sentence be your topic sentence. And then finally, we had a two-pronged topic sentence. And always your paragraphs are always related ideas. Once you break to a brand new idea and a new topic sentence, then you break to a new paragraph. I hope that helps. And in the next set of lectures, we're going to look at creating multi-paragraph units like blog posts and essays. I'll see you there.